Today, drama means unrequited love, drama means reconciliation, and drama means every wrong way to communicate. Hi, welcome to Drama Means. Today we're talking about the 2026 Taiwanese GL drama, The Way Back to You.
And first, a summary. Years after their budding romance was suddenly cut short, two women attempt to work through their differences and rediscover their feelings for each other. And are we saying this Taiwanese wink wink?
It is definitely Taiwanese wink wink because it's for sure Chinese.
Taiwanese getting around the censorship wink wink.
Yeah. It's Chinese. It's, voiced over with Chinese, Mandarin rather than Taiwanese style Mandarin. It's definitely in true Chinese short drama style.
Sure.
But we all know it's actually a Chinese drama, but we're gonna say that it's Taiwanese.
And when we say short style drama, this was 6 episodes, 20-ish minutes an episode.
Yeah.
So not like vertical short dramas, but shorter than what you'd see out of these 25 episode hour longs.
Yeah.
This is kind of a new, no, I wouldn't even call it a new format, but it's different. It's kind of different than what we normally see.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that there is a GL, like a Chinese GL out. Because this year has been we got a lot of Chinese BLs pushed out. And they just keep coming. And I think with this short drama format with based supposedly Taiwanese drama or Hong Kong drama listed, they're able to, get more of that content out there.
Right. It kind of goes to show you sometimes how entertainment can push forward culture, and then culture can kind of be pushed forward. So it takes, the people want the content. You put out the content, people will spend money on it, and so then you're kind of forced into this thing where you can't just live in, the old times and just pretend like these things don't exist.
Yeah. You
kind of have to go, well, yeah, all right, we have to do those, because it just starts getting weird if you don't.
Yeah. So this drama is, I don't know if you would consider this a continuation, or this actually probably happens at the same time as the BL drama Dual Stars.
Right. And we talked a little bit about this, about how this is a little bit strange to try to tie these together. This feels like film companies trying to get mileage where there isn't any.
Yeah. We understand, in Forever You Two, we're going from one couple to the next. Whereas in this one, it really isn't necessary for them to be linked at all. When
you were watching Dual Stars, we were like, boy, I really hope they, do more with this photographer character.
We did see some, hinting of, oh, she is also gay in Dual Stars.
Right.
So then I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sure she has her own issue or whatever, but I wasn't that interested in it. Especially she was, kind of cold and, I don't know, high and mighty towards the two actors in Dual Stars, So I was like, who's this? Acting like she's a hot shot, kind of.
But also, if she has her own romance drama, her own dysfunctional romance, who is she to tell the other guys, you don't have any chemistry. You should go work on yourselves, because I know all about chemistry. I don't have this whole relationship drama in my own life.
Yeah.
Because girl, you ain't got shit figured out.
Totally. So back on to their actual story. As we said before, that it is a 6-episode drama, which is short, and also the episodes are short. But for whatever reason, I felt like the show dragged. It could have been a 3-episoder, and I'd been like, okay, that's fine.
But I think that we keep running into this, and when we say things like, oh, this just dragged, or nothing happens, it's not that nothing happens. I think this is where things like this, it's not that nothing happens. Things happen. There's scenes. People talk to each other. The story lacks direction. And it lacks like cohesiveness and like propulsion that moves through. You can have the most, stationary characters ever, but they still have to move somewhat, and they still have to interact with each other and move the story forward. And when there's no direction for the show to go, it just feels like stagnant.
Yeah.
And then it drags on because you're just wondering, so where are they going? Like, you spend the whole time going, but where are they going with any of this?
Yeah. You can tell this drama is very low budget, but it's even more so low effort.
Right.
From the story, like, okay, we're saying, it's in the same world as Dual Stars. It's probably directed and produced by the same company and director, right? You got more from Dual Stars. They had an actual, like, plot and storyline and, like, actual obstacles that they have to work through. Whereas this one, it was just very much like every scene felt disconnected from the next. You get a lot of these flashback scenes where it's like cutting, present day and the past and their backstory, but it's like I much rather see a full, like, adult story where the two women who are like once not a couple, but they were once into each other, right? They had romantic feelings for each other, work out their differences as you would normal life, right? It's not like when we're living our lives, it's not like we always see flashbacks of like what had happened to us before. Like if we're having a fight, we just fight it out and then we talk about it and work things out. We don't have to get all of the backstory. Like,
yeah, I think there's a reliance on flashback here. And we're seeing this a lot lately with different shows, and everyone wants to see all the context. And sometimes backstory should just be backstory. And you don't need to see it. It's not all that interesting. You don't need to flash back to it. We get it. They had a thing. Thing ended bad. Mom's an asshole. Move on. Like, that's all you need to know. Like, really.
Yeah.
To get the context of what's going on. So that just needs to be backstory. I think that's a main reason why prequels don't work. Because you start filming the backstory of the story that I liked. And you're like, oh yeah, that's why it wasn't the real story to begin with. That's why it was just the backstory. So I think there's too much reliance on flashback here to make it an effective love story in the foreground.
Yeah.
And also 6 episodes, 20 minutes. Do you really have time for all these frickin' flashbacks? Like, tell your story in the present.
Yeah. And because I feel like the emphasis of their story is in their flashbacks, we don't really get, like, much connection now in present day in their relationship. Like, yes, they hang out a little bit, they go and talk, and then they have a fight, and then they, like, spend the night at each other's houses or one of their houses. It's just like, and then they go camping. It's just like, it's all like, okay, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. And let's not really involve any, like, real emotions, because when Shen Fang, like, when she gets mad, she just gets mad, and then she's always, like, just, like, angry and, like, aggressive, Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, I don't know, like, I wanted, like, more ways to, like, resolve their issues.
Well, the growth. You want the growth between the characters and them to change and to learn something about themselves and learn something about each other and learn something about who they are separately, who they are together. Like, that's what a relationship is. And all we're really learning is the context of who they are now based on who they were then.
Yeah.
And so, okay, great, now I have context, but, like, now they go on a camping trip. Like, that doesn't really do anything for me, because I'm like, well, okay, that's who they were 4 years ago. Who are they now? And who would they be together if they were together now? Because obviously even their relationship with their parents and society and work is different than it was 4 years ago. Those obstacles are going to be different. But you're focused so much on the past and filling in this context. Who cares? I don't need it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's so repetitive in terms of like, okay, the past, their like surface obstacle is this guy, right? Mm-hmm. And then in present day, this surface obstacle is still the same guy.
Yeah.
After 5 years.
Nothing's moved.
Nothing's moved. Nothing's progressed. Right? And so when things do progress, they bring in another obstacle that's the exact same thing, just a different gender and on the different side.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, like, can we think of something more complicated than a frickin' love triangle? As I said before in so many other episodes, like how much I hate love triangles because it's as if that's the only problem a couple can have.
Yeah, I think for me personally, love triangles only work in two places. Love triangles work at the beginning of a relationship when you're not really sure which direction our main character is going to go. Is it A or B? And both seem to be equally viable. Mm-hmm. Or as a complication almost post-resolution to the complications that our characters have between each other. So like our two characters have kind of worked through their personal differences and are like on that smooth sailing road, and then this third party comes in and can kind of create a rift, and then we get to see, actually, no, you can't break us up because we've resolved our personal differences and we're too strong for that, right? So then it gives me a resolution of the end of like, no, they're going to weather it for the long run and it'll be okay.
Well, I mean, they did put it, the guy's in the beginning and the girl is at the end.
But the guy's not really ever a, like, viable choice.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah.
And the ex isn't really a viable choice, really. And the two couples, this couple never really works through their problems. Like, they never really work through anything here. So, like, it doesn't qualify for anything I'm talking about.
Yeah, true. I do have to say something about Ching Sui's character. First of all, she uses this guy, her friend and classmate, and this guy that has told her a bunch of times that he has feelings for her. I know she's rejected him, but also she decides to use him as well.
Kind of gross.
Right? So I already don't like this character as a person. And then she says all these terrible things to Shen Fang, right? And true or not, this is how you decided to handle things, right? Yes, you're drunk, but you're like sober enough to say the things that you wanted to say and like dealt with the problem, right? So you're not that drunk, but you say all these horrible things. Shen Fang leaves your ass, leaves your life. You don't see her for years. And then when she comes back into your life, yes, you're shook that you see her, right? But are you really apologetic? Are you like, do you show any remorse? You just kind of sit around and are like, hey, like, oh, let me buy you coffee. Let me make scallion noodles for you. Like, it's just such a like...
slap in the face?
Yeah, like, fuck you. You were a horrible person to me. You broke my heart. You don't get access to me this way.
Well, also so easily and so full of confidence and just like, I'm so cool. Don't you want to hang out with me some more? And you're like, did you get bonked on the head and forget like that you're a dick?
Yeah. And we've talked about this before in X Morning, and that's why we dropped it. And it's also why we dropped Girl Rules. It's these characters that have like no remorse. They come like gallivanting back into your life and just act like nothing's happened. Especially in X Morning and Girl Rules, like,
yeah, both of those were so obnoxious.
Yeah, like I'm just like, no, like you, like there's no forgiveness. Like, there's no redeemable qualities. I don't care how you want to justify it and you say you have a reason for it. You're the one that chose to do what you did. And then also, when you do come back, you don't apologize. You just like, you're like, what do you mean you don't want to hang out with me? I'm so fancy. I'm so beautiful. Whatever the fuck, right? Like, X Morning is like, I'm gonna come and save your life. You know, it's just like...
But even if he is, like, we've talked about this so many times with X Morning, and it's like, if you've done that to someone, and even if you have all the reasons in the world, you also understand the person you're dealing with doesn't have all those reasons. They don't have access to them. You've kept them secret. Show up with a little humility, and like a real person would. Because any person who would show up with that attitude of, like, not even, you don't even say this, I know I broke your heart, but look how cool I am. You just go straight to the, look how cool and calm and, like, confident I am. You're like, hey, asshole. Huh?
Yeah.
Like, that's not how we start this. I love what you just said. Like, you don't have access to me in that way. Like, we haven't built this rapport. We had that rapport, and then you punched me in the throat. So you have to come back to me a little bit with some humility.
Yeah.
For me to have any amount of respect for you. Otherwise, like, who am I to have respect for myself? Like, it's so weird.
Well, it is. Like, I also find it like, you don't have enough pride to, like, not talk to this person anymore.
Or at least tell the person, what the hell, man? Like,
yeah.
Who the hell do you think you are to be, like, waltzing in and out of my life with this kind of cavalier attitude? Like, you ruined me, and then you come back and you just think you can be the same cool person you were with me before? That's not how life works.
Yeah, like, that is like a selfish and an entitlement issue.
But it screws both characters. Like, that's the problem with X Morning too, is like, you not only hate the person with that attitude, you hate the other one for not telling them off. Like, you're like, no, like, slap them across the face and tell them how you really feel. Like, quit being a meek little bitch. Like, I know it's tough. Like, relationships are hard, and, like, people don't say what's on their mind. That's the good thing about drama, is that people don't just always say what's on their mind. But my God.
Like, but it's also, like, stand up for yourself.
That's what yeah, exactly.
It's, so, again, like, first of all, like, they treated it as, like, Shen Fang came and, like, opened this coffee shop, which also was, like, it's in their, like, past, where she was, like, agreed that she was gonna make her coffee for, like, the rest of her life kind of thing, so
right.
She opened a coffee shop. But I'm like, and, like, honestly, one of her goals to go back to China was so that she could reconcile with Ching Sui, right? But I'm like, fuck that. Like, why do you want that?
Yeah, I sometimes don't understand the motivations behind these types of relationships where...
Well, she's like, I can't get you out of my head.
Sure.
For 5 years, I only thought of you.
Sure. But why? Like, again, we talked about this, I think, last week. It's like, why are you so hung up on this one person? Like, life does move on. And I find it so unreasonable that for none of these characters in these shows that life ever moves an inch. Like, you're saying in 5 years... I mean, she had an ex.
Yeah.
In this, for 5 years, you didn't find connection with anyone else. You're the same person you were 5 years ago. Do you realize what a ludicrous idea that is? Like, 5 years? Haven't changed at all? Come on.
Yeah. This story in general is very, like, they threw a bunch of all these, like, really generic cliche tropes into, like, one, you know, story, right. Which we see all the time, like, you know, the repetitive tropes and the, you know, like, same endings and the same beginnings, and it's just all been done before. But, like, this one really, like, has put no effort into at all. And it's the same, like, it's just like, how can we put out something really fast and really easy and use the like minimal amount of money to shoot.
Yeah, and I think this is unfortunately something we see a lot when we're talking with subject matter that would be considered at the fringes of mainstream, right? So you would see these types of storylines for like, 10 years ago for like the gay character, right? And so you have the straight couple that gets all of this character development, and then you have a gay character because you're such a progressive show, right? Oh my gosh, we have a gay character. But then you spend no time on that character. You spend no effort developing that character because you don't really care.
Yeah.
Right? You want the accolades of having this progressive idea, but the effort behind it isn't there. And then as we progress, okay, fine. Now gay characters can be main characters. Okay, we're shifting the narrative, right? But the stuff still rolls downhill.
Well, that's the thing, like, as I said about Dual Stars, like, they actually had character development. They actually had, like, yeah, it's still low budget. It's still, like, not a great show, but they definitely, you can see more effort towards their story than the GL story, which now it's like, oh, well, we can have gay characters, but okay, all the BLs get more emphasis and more of our time, and GLs are just put on the back burner.
Well, yeah, because the BL is kind of the thing that's popular right now, and it's the thing that is more established. The GLs don't do, I wouldn't say do as well, but they're not as popular overall. Mm-hmm. So now, yeah, we want to be in the GL business, but like maybe just a toe or two.
Yeah.
And it does a huge disservice to the actors, to people who want this type of content, to everyone involved. It kind of is like, I will throw you this little bone. And it's kind of insulting.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say like it's just the procession of progress, but it's like, do better. Like, honestly, that's my like thing. If you're going to do this, if you're going to do a GL, don't do it half-assed. Give it the time that the characters deserve and the actors deserve to play real roles and not just waste their time.
Yeah. So we talked about Ching Sui's character. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about Shen Fang's character.
Okay.
She's also no picnic.
That's such a great way to describe it. You know what? They're no picnic.
Like, okay, you can say when she was in high school she was super immature, right? So during their graduation, which is kind of the beginning, is like, and you would take it as like, oh, she's like assertive and she's strong character. But honestly, it's just kind of rude to me.
You're talking about telling off the friend and you're just like...
Okay, yeah. So it was college graduation. The guy, that Ching Sui has like worked on projects with before. They're friends, they're classmates, it doesn't matter, like acquaintance, whatever it is. He confesses to her, and then of course she like rejects him. So then immediately Shen Fang is like grumpy and like mad, right? Mm-hmm. And so then it's like, okay, well, what ground do you have to be mad at her? You're her nothing. You're a student that she tutors.
Right.
Is the actual thing. At most, you're her sister's best friend. Right? Like, you have no right to, like, be mad at her for what you think that she's accepted someone's, like, confession. And, whatever. And then, that's one part. Then, like, later down the line, where, her friend is, Ching Sui's friend, the guy, is there to do her a favor and pick her up from the bar, because she's drunk. And Shen Fang shows up, sees him, like helping her or like holding her up because she's so drunk. And she immediately like has this like, she's mine, get away from her, blah, 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 right? And it's just like, well, yeah, you confessed your feelings towards her, but she's never agreed to date you.
Right.
Right? It's not, you have no right. And even if you do think that, like, he's, you know, maybe taking advantage of her, but, like, it was clear that he wasn't, he's her friend.
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't, like, just fly off the handles. You know what I mean? And so that happens. That's all in flashback. So then it happens again in present day. 5 years later, again, as you said before, she's not grown at all in character. She sees, this coworker is, like, asking Ching Sui to, like, get coffee with him. Mm-hmm. You know? And yes, he's a little badgery about it. But again, there's a way to talk to someone who's this Ching Sui's, like, coworker, right? You don't talk to them that way. It doesn't matter. And also, who the fuck are you?
Well, she's very entitled to her opinion, and she's very entitled to, you know, the object of her affection. Like, I have to protect them, and I have to look out for them, and I have to, like, elbow barge everybody else out of the way. And it's like, hey, brah, no one asked you.
Yeah. It's like, you have no right yet.
Yeah.
Until she is actually your girlfriend, you have no right to do that. Is not your place.
I think often of, like, that is the perfect way of putting it, your place. Because I do think in society, it's kind of a screwed up thing to tell someone else, know your role, know your place, right? Like, that's kind of, like, derogatory. But as characters go, characters need to understand their place in the story, because when they act out of place, we start to feel it as audience, and we're like, well, wait, why are they allowed to do that? It's the same thing in the costume dramas where, like, the maids are suddenly, like, have a lot of opinions about things, and you're like, well, that's what gets maids' heads chopped off. Like, maybe know your place as this character, because when you start acting out of character, then the story stops working.
Yeah. I can understand if it's some stranger that is literally sexually harassing Ching Sui.
Well, then you're in protective mode.
Yeah. And then even if it's a stranger, yeah, you go help, right? But then it's like, you know who these men are, right? You know that they're her friend, and the thing is, you don't trust Ching Sui enough to, like, speak up for herself. When, like, literally the second time in modern day, it's like, you guys haven't even talked to each other in 5 years.
Right. Yeah, it's like, how are you interjecting into this?
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, it's just...
You ever had, like, a stranger butt into your conversation in public, and you're like, sorry, dude.
Which has happened before.
Wasn't soliciting your advice.
Yeah, it has happened before, and it feels really weird.
I think the last kind of thing we should talk about, too, is just... You said it a little bit already, which is having all of the obstacles be external to the relationship and not actually problems between the characters, which goes back to my problem of having no direction. And so you have no direction, and you have no real obstacles keeping these characters apart except for external obstacles. How on earth do you wrap up the show if all those things are true?
Well, that's the whole problem is, okay, their obstacles are always a third party, right? So in their past, that guy, that college classmate, in the present, also the same guy, but also another, like, addition of, you know, the ex-girlfriend from abroad, and then also the mom, right? Which is, like, ultimately, like, the biggest obstacle for their relationship in the past, and supposedly in the present, which is not even a thing anyway.
That's not really dramatized in the present, though.
No, it wasn't. But then their resolve is also third party.
And random.
And random. It's so like, oh, we don't really know how to end this, so we're going to just drop this in, because you can't possibly be mad at someone who's willing to take a knife for you, kind of thing, right?
But it goes back to, like, what have they learned about each other, and how have they grown together, and how did they... bridge the differences between each other.
Well, how are they ever going to resolve any kind of fight if, like, every time they fight, someone needs to be stabbed in order for them to make up?
That's an amazing love story. I can't be mad at you. You keep getting stabbed for me.
They just take turns getting stabbed by, like, some rando stranger on the street, like...
Well, weirdly, a weird twist in this is that she paid the guy to stab her.
It's not that kind of story.
It could be.
It could be, but it's not. And so it's just, like, there is no... Like, how would they have solved that argument if this random stranger didn't end up trying to stab Shen Fang, and then Ching Sui comes out and, like, saves the day by using her body to block the knife. Like, I get it. Like, we see this all the time. It's like, oh, the other person, gets hurt in order to save, and it's, like, supposedly, like, romanticized, right? Like, it's so romantic, but it's...
But I think, romantic or not, the problem is that it solves everything. And the problem is that there is nothing else to solve. They haven't given themselves problems between the characters. I sound like a broken record, but, like, there's no problem between our two characters that needs to be solved. It's problems outside the two characters called mom, ex-girlfriend, friend. Like, all these things need to be solved. So, like, if they were just to live in a cabin together, there's no conflict. They have nothing, they have no growth. They have nothing that changed from 4 or 5 years ago to now that they need to work. They have no inner damage, inner trauma. Like, that's what makes romance stories hard to tell, is trying to figure out those deep internal traumas that, why does this character always sabotage themselves? Why are they always sabotaging themselves? Well, they need to heal this part of them first before they can be in the relationship. Oh, that's internal. Oh, that's a flaw with the character, and now I want to see them overcome that flaw so they can just be together and be happy. And here it's just like, why aren't they together and happy? Because, there's this, like, dude. Oh, because the mom. Boring.
And then, yes, again, like, another random addition of a stranger stabbing Ching Sui means that resolves all problems.
But it leaves you nowhere to go in the end. That's why you have to resort to this random guy stabbing. Like, going back to something even we were really critical about, which was Beside the Sky, the Forever You Two Beside the Sky, where you had... Foon has to, like, kind of find his self-confidence to understand that someone would actually want to be in a relationship with him, right? It's not just, yes, his dad is an ass, and there's all these other things, but he also has to kind of find himself. Wait, I don't want to be a veterinarian. I want to be a photographer. And Tonfa helps him figure those things out. So I'm not even saying that's perfect, but you see where that, like, makes the characters grow to a point where now they're ready to be together. And if he hadn't have had that growth, they couldn't possibly be together, dad or no dad. And in here, that's completely missing. And so it's just, if mom died tomorrow, wow, problem solved. We're together now. And you're like, but that's not dramatically interesting because we haven't affected our own story. So they had to come up with something at the end, which was, how do they affect their own story to resolve it? Oh, well, sacrifice. It's cheap. It's low effort. It's exactly what we've been talking about the whole time.
Yeah. Also, with how they filmed the show, it went from, again, I said, like, each scene doesn't connect, right? And there's literally, like, a scene where they have a fight, and then, the Shen Fang, like, kind of leaves, and then, like, the next scene after that, they're, like, talking and behaving like normal. And then the scene after that, Shen Fang is mad at her again for the thing that happened, like, like 2 scenes ago or whatever, right?
They forgot about it for a second.
Yeah. And then it was like, okay, now we're going to deal with the issue. And I'm like, wait, why? Like, what is this? But, like, talk about, like, not understanding, like, scene transition, but also just, like, one scene, they're fine and dandy and they're talking, and then next scene, they're, like, mad at or one person's mad at the other, and then, like, another scene, they're, like, texting each other, and they're fine, and then Shen Fang's all, like, giddy because they're getting the text, and then the next scene, like, Shen Fang's mad. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's so incohesive.
But it seems just disorganized, and like I said at the beginning, it just lacks direction. And if you can find a North Star to figure out where you want these characters to be, just where do they start? What's their issue together? Where do they end? And once you can figure out those things, then at least you have a direction for your story so that you can always work a scene closer to where you were before, rather than just 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then you fall in this repetition where you're just not really sure where you are in the story, and we need a fight in this episode to give us an ending, and you're like, yeah, but that doesn't work for what's come before it. It doesn't matter. Lack of direction.
Yeah. After watching the show, like, it's clear that, you know, the acting is not good in it. It's very surface level acting. Any, like, emotions are on the surface. If they're mad, they're, like, yelling. And if they're, you know, sad, they're just kind of sitting there dazed. And then when they're happy, they're in each other's faces. It's fine. It's not good. Especially, like, it's also dubbed over, you know, and so it has, like...
That's tough.
Like, voiceover acting to me also, like, it's funny because there's a lot of complaints saying, like, oh, actors aren't good, and it's like the voiceover actors have to, like, voice over the actors because, like, to save them, and it's like the acting is, like, better with voice actors. I don't agree with that. I mean, there are some good voiceover actors, but, like, for the most part, a lot of these, especially in the Chinese dramas when they're, like, dubbed over like this, it's not good.
No, it takes me out of it quite a bit, even though I'm reading subtitles and not paying that close attention to, like, all of the inflections as much as I would be if it was in a language I could understand. It still pulls me out of it sometimes when the inflections are wrong or just over dramatic, and you're like, oh, I wish they would just act.
Mm-hmm. Again, I said it's not a deep story, it's low effort, but I am glad that they didn't create a just, like, fetishy GL.
Fan service.
Yeah. That would, like, I would have dropped it already if it was like that, where, like, the characters aren't characters, they're just there to serve, you know, sex scenes, which that bothers me, no matter if it's BL or GL. I really need a good story, and then I can believe that the romance is there, but if it's just, you know, fan service. So I was really worried because a lot of GLs have been, like, coming out more and more, you know, and back in the day, you know, when I was consuming LGBTQ content, a lot of, like, GLs were like, just fetishy sex scenes, and that's it. I'm glad to see that there's, like, more story involvement on...
or at least that it's coming from the story, not coming from the fetish.
Yeah.
And then going, well, how do we dress this up in a story to hide the fact that it's just perversion, right? Like, let's actually start from a story place, and then the romance and the love and the sex will come from the story, rather than just a necessity to show skin.
Yeah. And you know what? This is, like, very early stages of Chinese GL. I mean, back in the day, the Chinese GL were, like, porn.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see improvement. these newer projects, with better quality and better story. And I think it's just a place of this is where it's the beginning point.
Yeah, I mean, everything comes from financing, right? You have to have someone who's willing to put money behind a project. You have to have someone that's passionate enough about getting the project out. And I think it has to come from the right place, which is always my concern of like, okay, you've got the money behind it, but is this coming from just greed and jumping on a trend, or are you really passionate about this type of material? Because that's what you kind of need. You need the money behind it. You need passion behind the material. And then the audience will show up for it if you do a good job.
Yeah. So I can't fault it. I mean, I do fault it a lot, but because again, as I said before, like they definitely put more effort in the BL production that they did.
Yeah.
So it's clear that GL is such like an afterthought for them. But I'm hoping to see more content.
And I think that's the headline for me with this. It's not, good GLs can't be made, and we don't want to see GL. It's put the same effort into a GL as you do BL and mainstream heteronormative, relationships, romances. Put the same effort here. That's what we want to see. It's not that this genre doesn't work. Like, don't take the wrong message.
Yeah.
It's take the message of, this is just a start. Now get to work.
Yeah. I mean, when we say we want equality, we mean it.
Right.
So yeah, my rating is swearing to never board again.
Oh, that's even lower than I would have gone.
Yeah?
Swearing to never board again, that's real low.
It's real bad.
I mean, I think the only saving grace is it's short.
Yeah.
So, it's like, even if it was the worst thing I've ever seen, at least it's merciful by being short.
I think if it was longer, we would have dropped it already.
Yeah, sometimes the length will save it.
Yeah.
And I think, too, like, we talked a little bit about it, like, oh, well, it's so short, they don't have time to tell their story. And, like, yes, you do. Tell the appropriate story for the time you're given. Like, people still tell stories in 6-minute shorts with no dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, you can watch a animated short that, I mean, the squirrel in front of Ice Age and chasing his acorn is a 5-minute short with no dialogue. And it was like, it won awards. So, like, you can tell your story. Don't be like, well, they're not given the chance. No, just tell the size of story for the amount of running time you have.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Put the effort in. It'll happen.
It's always about effort. Let it be the story, the production, or even in the relationship, effort is key.
Wise words. Well, that is it for this week.
You didn't give their rating.
Oh, what did I say? I didn't say it? Oh, what's the one above swearing never bored again?
Stepping out for fresh air.
Yeah, that one. I was like trying to flip to my screen and my computer went haywire.
Okay.
Stepping out for fresh air. Yes. Not a good rating. But, thanks for only being 6 episodes.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening to us, and we will see you next week.